Welcome to Basic Brewing Video. I'm James Spencer.
I'm Steve Wilkes.
We like to do things easy whenever we can, right?
Easy and peasy.
Yes. Now you'll remember if you watch this series, if you listen to the audio podcast, my 15-minute pale ale concept, where you do extract and you boil a whole bunch of hops in 15 minutes, and you get a nice hoppy beer. Well, I got an email from a guy named Joe in Portland, Oregon.
Oh, God, the phrase from Kokomo.
I got that. That was last week.
Okay.
But Joe was expecting a young son, which he's since had.
Yeah.
But he was wondering. He said, you know, I've got this boy coming along. Is this child coming along? I'm not going to have time to brew. I love the 15-minute ale concept because, you know, it just takes a little amount of time. What other styles of beer could you brew with that short brew concept? Could I brew a porter or a stout? And I was a little skeptical about that. But he since wrote me saying that he made a cherry stout with the 15-minute technique, and he said it was wonderful. So I used Joe's initial email as an inspiration for this brew. I call it a 15-minute Saison. So here's how it went.
Okay.
Into 5 gallons of water, I added 3.3 pounds or 1.5 kilograms of Breeze Gold Pills Vienna liquid malt extract. Also, 3.3 pounds or 1.5 kilograms of Breeze Bavarian wheat liquid malt extract. And also, 16 ounces or 450 grams of golden candy syrup. Now all that went into the boil along with 2 ounces or 56 grams of German Mandarina Bavaria hop pellets. And all that was boiled for 15 minutes. 15 minutes alone, and then I chilled it, and then I added a can of Imperial Rustic yeast, which is one of the Belgian yeast strains.
Thank you, Foster Brooks.
second show. The original gravity was 1049. The final gravity 1010. So it only weighs in at 5.2%. And this is on tap, which upstairs, which is why we didn't pour.
Cheers.
So I want to know what you think. It's a beautiful beer.
Oh, it's lovely.
Cheers, everybody.
That's good. That's really good. Wow.
What are you tasting?
I taste tangerine. I taste the hop. It's just it's kind of sweet, but it finishes nice and dry.
I get a lot of spice from the yeast.
Yeah.
To me, it's very Saison-y.
Yep.
To me, I get, and I'm going to run this show around Thanksgiving because I get some like holiday spice in there. It's not as strong as like a pumpkin beer, you know, like everybody despises the pumpkin beer. But I swear I get some like nutmeg and cinnamon in there a little bit.
Peppery, a little cinnamon. Yeah, sure.
Of course, I've been drinking on this a little while, so I'm familiar with it. But
my first impression of it was the hop character. I really picked up on the fruitiness, kind of a juicy tangerine, a soft citrus. And then the second thing that I picked up on was the softness of the beer in general. It's not, it doesn't smack you. It's not, sometimes a Saison, when you drink one, they're really lovely, but like you really know you've had a drink of beer. I mean,
and it's a phenol bomb.
Yeah, it's a phenol bomb. It's just like boom, and this is much softer. Then after that, I pick up the things that you were noting, the spice characteristics and the esters and phenols. They're much softer. They're definitely there. I'll be really interested if it lasts long enough to see what it does in a month. It's not going to last a month. Last month.
I get also just sipping it. I get some banana. You know, maybe
I thought you were glad to see me.
or maybe just a teeny bit of bubble gum. in there from the yeast. I didn't ferment it very warm. I think the room temperature was like in the lower 70s Fahrenheit. I don't know what that is, Celsius, sorry. But of course the temperature ramped up after that. And the imperial yeast is really, they've got a ton of cells in that little can.
Yeah.
And so it takes off right away. But I think it's delicious, and I would brew this one again in a heartbeat. And it only takes a heartbeat to brew because it's a 15-minute beer.
That's a heck of a good beer. That's really, really, really a good beer. I predict a kit.
Well, you can. You have my permission, kind sir, to make a kit for Steve's Brew Shop.
That's just terrific. And because it's 5%, it's not overwhelming. It finishes really clean.
See, I get I get the spice. Good. To me, the spice. I guess the spice for me is more upfront than it is to you. You're getting the tangerine or the citrus flavors of the hops first.
Yeah.
The thing that hits my palate first is the yeasty spice, or the spice that comes from the yeast.
I get the yeastiness up front, but it's a soft flavor for me. I get the pepper finish.
Yeah.
It finishes like pepper. Like if you have, if you're from the South and you have biscuits and gravy and you put a lot of pepper on it and you eat it and you take a bite and then you're left with pepper. And this kind of does that.
So I guess what we're saying is
without the biscuits.
It's a complex beer. And you don't think of extract beers as being, beers that you sit around and put on your beer geek hat and philosophize about what you're tasting. But there's a lot going on there.
A lot going on in that beer.
That's a delicious beer. And super, super easy. So thanks to Joe.
No kidding.
In Portland for the inspiration to step out of the pale ale style for the 15-minute concept.
Right. And you didn't use any specialty grains, so you didn't.
No.
So it made it even simpler.
And it came out a little darker than I anticipated. I don't think that's a bad thing, but what I might do next time is like instead of the golden candy syrup, maybe go with the the lighter colored candy syrup just to get more of a golden color. But then maybe some of that. There's a bit of caramel. We haven't talked about the malt backbone. Because the hop flavor and the yeast flavors are up front. Boy. But I get there's a caramel backbone in there that it kind of balances everything out.
Yeah, it's very well balanced beer. It's just delicious. That could I'd pay $1 for that. So
wow. I'm starting a brewery.
That's right.
$1 a beer.
I'll be rich.
Wait a minute.
My glasses are broke.
It's that good.
I've invented these glasses.
You need an OptiGrab.
That's right.
Damn these glasses, boy. Okay.
All right.
Well, there you go. We've gushed enough about this beer.
Yeah, no kidding.
We've gushed longer than it took to brew the beer.
Well, that's true.
But no, I would highly recommend this recipe. It's super simple and super delicious. And I challenge you to step out of the style guidelines or whatever and see what other 15-minute beers that we can come up with.
Yeah.
There you go.
Cheers.
If I'm running this around Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yeah. Or something like that.
Something. Show number 2 that we've recorded today.
Oh, and if this runs at Thanksgiving, my store will have been open 1 year.
Hey!
So we're still ahead of that because it's not Thanksgiving yet, but that'll be the 1 year anniversary. So in theory.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, thanks.
Cheers. Come and visit us online. At basicbrewing.com, you can find archive lists of our audio and video podcasts on home brewing. You can also find our DVDs and our brewer's logbook, where you can track and log up to 50 batches of beer. If you're in Fayetteville, Arkansas, stop by Steve's Brew Shop or find him online at stevesbrewshop.com. That's pretty dang good.
That's really good. Whew. Everything about that beer is good. There's nothing to criticize about that beer.